welcome back to the Viper's Pit. I'm your host, Pit Viper 227, and today I have a special project going on, which happens to feature these two arms right here. As you can see, these are Grunt's hands, and I'm actually working on them for a person on Facebook. And as you can tell, that they're very damaged. The thumb is actually missing on the right hand, and a complete hand is also missing on the left, but the thumb is still intact. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to be trying to restore these little guys right here, as you can see. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have like a pin vise of some kind, as you can see right here that I'm showing. And then the next item, you want to make sure you have a good pair of nippers. But if you can't get any of those, the other part is get some of these guys right here, so that way you can use them as well. They're pretty cheap to find out there. And of course, you want to make sure that you actually have some wire. I bought this one from Hobby Lobby, and if not, you can always use a paper clip, and it lets you know the size is 1/16 on the drill bit as well. And if you're not sure about that, always make sure you have an owl, so then that way you can actually attempt to poke a hole right into the hand right there, which I'm going to be probably doing. And of course, get some good super glue. Make sure that it's actual no gel glue, because that's very important, so that way it can stick together and bond a lot better than the gel. So let's go ahead and get started on it right now. As you can see, I'm going to be going ahead and putting the awl right through the hole, making a little indentation, so that way I can get the pen vise going in a moment. So I just got to work it out here and there. Just got to, okay, I think I got it. All right, next part is drilling. Sometimes it can be just a little bit tedious on it because it's a smooth break. So just got to find the right spot. And so, as you can see, just having a little bit of problem, but okay, now here we go, starting off the drilling process. Don't want to go too deep in to that spot, because sometimes what will happen is you might create a hole, and of course it might ruin the hand, and you may have to try to salvage it with a little bit of milliput. I'll go into that detail later on, just in case this happens. But it looks like it's going okay. Yeah, just take a little bit of time drilling out the stuff. As you can see, it's coming off like so around the drill bit. And of course, this is the wire, so I usually like to test fit it just to make sure it gets in there okay. So I'm just going to be using one wire, so then that way I can actually make the actual hand with the digits on there. Okay, just getting it in there, tapping out a little bit more plastic. You can see, just going at it a little bit at a time here and there. Just to let you know, you're not hearing anything in the background, because apparently what happened with my video here is that I lost the audio, so that happens. But anyways, okay, now we're going to do another test fit, and we're going to make sure that it gets in there pretty good. And it looks like it's getting close, and we're going to try that one more time. All right, looks like we got it, and I'm just going to nip it off right here. It's going to be a little long, but that's okay. But it's always best to trim them down after, and then we'll get the glue. Yeah, I'm going to be needing a new bottle of glue soon. So this is actually, like I said, this the stuff that I use is actually from Gorilla Glue. So I love that stuff pretty much. I know a lot of people use the other type of glue, which is actually the Loctite, which is really good, but I do not recommend any of the gel, because it won't hold too fast, because you want it to cure quickly. So you just put it around here on the wire, and sometimes you can just stick it in and get a little bit, like so. And of course, now try to get it to in place in the hand, or the stump, I should say. All right, putting it in like so. Okay, now we're gonna let that sit for a little bit in a moment. Just actually, if it's a little crooked, don't worry about it. But um, I'll be shaping them. As you can see, it's got a little bend to it, so I'll be doing a little bit more bending later on when I get the opportunity, because you want to make sure it dries right away. I know it says 10 seconds for it to bond, but it takes a little longer, so then that way it can be more permanent. Alrighty, now let's move on to the thumb. Okay, as you can see, the thumb is missing on this one, and now we have the comparison here between both of Brent's hands. Okay, Looks like it just needs a little cleaning here and there, but overall, we're going to go ahead and make sure that you look right where it is in the center, but get the owl again so that way you can mark it where the little stump is. Okay, like so. Just let it wiggle it in there a little bit so that way the pin vise can grab onto it when the drill pit goes in. All right, just push a little bit and twist, and a little bit and twist, a little bit and twist, and a little bit and twist. Okay, we got that going. Next, we're going to do a little test fit. As you can see right there, there's a hole right by the thumb. Looks like we're going to do a little test fit, like I said. So bear with me on this. All right, might need just a little bit more. And like with the stump, on the other hand, don't want to go too far in or else it may pop out. So you don't want to go too far in. You want to make sure that it's just enough room to have that wire actually be glued in there so it can actually have a nice bond between the wire and the thumbless part of this hand. Okay, looks like it might be getting there. All right, and I'm going to give you nipping off a little bit of it, like so. Okay, just got a little slight bend because I want a little curvature for the thumb, as you can see. So that way it actually want to restore it properly because sometimes if you don't give it a little bit of curvature, then what happens is you're going to have a weird looking thumb or you're going to give somebody a thumb up. Well, which would be kind of interesting, but you know, everybody has their own technique. Um, this technique I've actually learned from Toy Poloi because he was doing this for quite some time. So I thought I'd just give it a shot and, of course, help people out with that. Okay, now we're going to nip it right about close to the fingers. And there we go. And just got to adjust it a little bit so that way the glue can take on the thumb part. I know they look kind of ugly right now, but overall, they will be turning into something very unique after that. Okay, that one's just a little loose. Like I said, you have to make sure that it stays cured. But what I'm thinking is it just needs a little more glue because I don't think it actually got it inside the wire. So just make sure you have a proper amount of glue when you're putting this project together. Okay, as you can see, there's a nice little glob of it. So just stick it back in. And now I'm looking it over. I apologize that I kind of moved it off the camera, but as you can see, here we go. And now let it sit for a while. Okay, and as you can see, this actually is the result of it right here. As, so you'll look at these stills that I got on hand, and that's it for now. I just let you guys know that I will be pretty much posting another update video on this, so there will be a part two. Thank you once again for watching the Viper's Pit. Pit Viper 327, signing off.